G'day there, ladies and gents. Mark Wallace here from Econisis. Hope you're all doing well. It is the end of the first full week here of September 2023, and I just want to take a few minutes to talk a little bit about the RBA's monetary policy cycle, tightening cycle appearing to come to an end, or at least a significant pause, about the impact that we've seen now of what has been probably an overshooting of monetary policy on the economy. So in September, we saw the second month in a row of the RBA being on pause or on a hold with regard to monetary policy. Not unexpected. We've had people, including myself, calling for them to be on hold for quite some time because there was a general view that they have significantly overshot the monetary policy tightening cycle, haven't factored in issues of lag, and haven't factored in also some of the early warning signs we were seeing in terms of the household sector. Instead, we're looking at issues such as unemployment, labour market, and housing prices, and seeing those as being signs of a overheating economy, where in fact, as we've discussed in previous videos, were both the signs of significant structural issues within the economy and the demography of Australia. And so unfortunately, because they misread that completely, either negligently or willfully, they have then, in my view, overshot monetary policy probably by at least 50 basis points, if not 75 basis points. And unfortunately, it looks like the economy is taking a hit because of their because of that ineptitude or inappropriate tightening of monetary policy. We saw that during the week with the release of GDP figures for Australia for the June 2023 quarter. We had a 0.4% growth in the quarter, which was quite slow. But the scary part of that is that now we have the GDP per capita, which seeks to net remove the impacts of population growth and migration, has seen 6 months now of negative growth, which basically means that on a per person basis, we are officially in a recession. Now that's a bit of a scary issue, and I think it for all of those in the community and the economy and the household sector have been feeling this now for a little while. This obviously is only to the June quarter, so it's very possible that with the September quarter that we're in at the moment, we're actually going to be closer to 9 months by the time this the next quarter comes through of GDP per capita recession. So that's flowing through to a number of sectors. We're seeing significant reductions in in household expenditure and flowing through to traditional household expenditure sectors of the economy. And really the only thing that's been keeping the economy afloat has been extremely positive population growth, or extremely significant population growth and migration, as well as the rebounding of some of the service sectors, namely tourism and education flowing from international students has started to really pick up now as a lot of global trade flows start to normalize. The public sector has also been doing a hell of a lot of the heavy lifting the last 3 quarters in terms of expenditure, health, education, and transport infrastructure leading the fields in terms of public sector. The private sector continues to lag, as it has for a very long time. Private sector expenditure has been only grew by 1.5% in the quarter, well below the growth that we saw in the public sector investment, and new public sector investment in particular was significantly higher. And in the case of the private sector investment, a lot of the growth there was in response to improving supply chains for things like vehicles internationally. And so again, the degree to which that could be seen as positive growth versus catch-up is once again very questionable. We have had also GDP per hour worked also continue to decline, and as I've stated before, that is in no way a reflection of the workforce and is entirely on the shoulders of the business community not investing in the technology and the equipment needed to continue to drive that measure forward, because GDP per hours worked is not a reflection of worker productivity. It's a reflection of business productivity per hour of their employment, of their worker employment. So in that instance, businesses continuing to drop the ball and continuing to, in the face of some uncertainty, which is reasonable, but continuing in terms of an attempt to effectively continue to support record profits through investment in action. Unfortunately, we're seeing some of these negative consequences now in the economy. Inflation is falling precipitously and is likely to continue to fall very rapidly in response to the slowing of the economy and the overstepping of monetary policy. And unfortunately, we're probably going to have some, with the decrease in the frequency of reserve bank rates, we're probably going to have significant instances of quite a lot of volatility or shocks to the market from monetary policy moves, as the Reserve Bank has sort of hamstrung themselves by giving themselves less opportunity to respond to the economy. Hopefully, on the positive note, though, that they will be able to then wait for data to actually come out before making moves preemptively, and in this case, as we've seen this cycle, incorrectly throughout the whole scheme of things. So, look, overall, public sector continues to do the heavy lifting around infrastructure, transport, and education, which is helping the economy, but the household sector is well and truly in a recession on a GDP per capita basis, thanks primarily due to the Reserve Bank of Australia's tightening monetary policy. But that is it for today. Thank you very much. Thank you for waiting for my latest video. Apologies for the delay. Combination of travel and intensive work, which has been amazing for the business. But yes, I'm trying to get back into doing some more of these videos in the coming weeks and months. But that's it for today. Thank you very much. Have a great one, and I'll see you soon.